Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on this Tuesday night. It is October 24th already. Time flies. I'm going to cover several important things that I believe you need to know. There is a travel or safety alert that I want to talk about that you need to be aware of, especially if you're out there driving around some, okay, even some. I'm going to give a little update on the war stuff, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. I'm going to talk about the homeland, what's going on here. I'm calling that part look over there, not here. And I'm going to talk a bit about the discovery of many more new viruses. Kind of interesting. I'll touch on that. I'm going to touch on what we can be doing here to keep focused. And I'm going to include church on that. I may, if I have time, I'm probably going to do a longer video on that as far as a lot of people have been talking to me about trying to find a church and or a group even, and that's not easy, especially these days. But I'm gonna try to touch on that. And I have a very good verse that I'm going to share that is, I believe, is very uplifting. Will give you some encouragement. So do stay tuned for that. But first, I've got to get into this virus thing. This story jumped out at me earlier today. I saved a little blurb of it on my phone. But basically, it says Chinese scientists have discovered uh, new viruses, as researchers tasked with preparing the world for future pandemic took almost 700 samples from rodents living on Hainan. This is apparently just off China's southern coast, an island. 8 novel viruses, including one belonging to the same family as COVID, were uncovered in the project funded by the Chinese government. I mean, what could go wrong? I mean, you're just going to go out there on an island and start picking away at stuff and let's just find new viruses. Oh, and by the way, they're related to the last health scare we've had. I mean, of course. Why am I not surprised? Why are we not surprised to hear that? What could come from that? So, again, you know, another one's coming. So, don't be surprised when that surfaces. It gets bigger. Safety alert. Let's be careful out there, anywhere, but especially driving, especially the younger folks, females, particular, if you have children that are young adult or any adults, females, young females, your grandchildren, children, we need to remind them to be safe. I mean, even guys, but a friend of a friend, local. This was here local, not too far from where we live. Had an incident. Basically, this girl, I think she's 17, maybe 16, 17 or 18. I can't remember, right in that age range. But was driving, I don't know what time of day it was, but was driving and was pulled over by what she thought was a cop. And it was somebody impersonating a police officer. Now, they can look pretty convincing, especially if you're young, if you're an inexperienced driver, you may be confused, not sure. But this girl was on top of it, pretty smart, very smart, and knew something was up. Just didn't feel right. So she didn't roll down her windows. She didn't get out of the car. She kept the car locked, and she had somebody with her. She had a friend with her, which I think made a big difference as well. So she was not alone. But basically, this man identified himself as a law enforcement officer and tried to get her to get out of the car. And good for her, she was alert and did not, knew something was up, called her mom. Well, ended up calling 911, verified that that's not a police officer, and they sent an officer or sent somebody out there. But this guy knew the jig was up. He took off, and so she ended up driving off, and then she noticed a another van come by, kind of harassing. So this guy was not alone. This was two vehicles working together. How about that? So they had one vehicle impersonating a police officer, and then they had a van in the wings waiting to swoop in as well. That is scary. That is so scary. So she That was close. That was a close one, and that is local. That's right here. That's right here in Northeast Georgia. I saw a statistic not long ago. I think Georgia was in the top five, I think, as far as human trafficking. What the heck? So you got to be alert out there. It's sad. It's sad. And when I was 16, 18, well, young adult driving, I mean, it's the furthest thing from our mind, man. It's the furthest thing. I mean, we put $10 of gas in the car, filled it up. And sometimes we just drove to drive just to kill time and cruise, and drive around, look at our cars and look at what else people were driving. And I don't know, it was like an innocent time. It was innocence. I know there was crime going on then, but dang, we thought we were invincible. We just weren't worried. And we were usually in small groups. We weren't hardly ever alone. So anyway, nostalgia there. So yes, be reminding our folks about that. All right. Quick update on the war. The United States readies plans for mass evacuation, especially if and when the Gaza war escalates. Seems like it is escalating. Hundreds of thousands of American citizens will be needed to be evacuated from the Middle East region. So they're expecting escalation there. We have two carrier battle groups, as I've mentioned before. That is a lot. That's a lot of assets right there in a small area. We are ramping up big time, arming or helping arm Israel. So we'll just keep an eye on that situation. I had a thought today about that, and I'm thinking, this anticipation's been building up of whether the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force, is going to go into Gaza on the ground. Keep saying they are, but they haven't yet. And I'm beginning to wonder. I mean, should they? Should they? I mean, an alternative would be. I mean, I think they are. I think they're going to go in there, but that's going to be tough and rough. But and that's war, I know. But would it be better? And tell me what you think. I mean, I could be totally off. Let me know. But would it be better if they just continued airstrikes for maybe another 2 weeks or however long? Pound them, keep pounding them. I mean, hit them with these, bunker busters if you have to. And then just use special operations, use surgical strikes as far as on the ground, your special ops, to go in and try to get these hostages, try to take out the leadership, the Hamas fighters, instead of a full scale throw everything in the kitchen sink out there. And that's going to be that they're going to take some heavy casualties. They may not. I may be wrong. I don't know. Just the thought that ran through my mind. I don't know. It's pretty evident that the United States military complex wants a war with somebody. Dollar signs follow the money. It just seems that way, doesn't it? It's just a lot of rhetoric, a lot of threats going back and forth. I mean, it's just keeps amping up, doesn't it? I mean, a trigger finger, somebody making a mistake or a trigger finger here and there could really set off even something even bigger, is my worry. Anyway, okay, this section is called Look Over There, Not Here. If you're getting the attention, you're getting the feeling that, they want you to just be focused on that and not the homeland. Not, we still have issues right here in the United States, and you can put Canada in there as well. We're so focused over there, wall to wall, glued to TV, computer, whatever, and the news, like, oh, what's going on now in the Middle East, Middle East. Well, we still have issues right here. We still have inflation. We still have crime. We still have high gas prices, utilities, insurance, healthcare, home, auto, labor, appliances, your gas tank. I think I mentioned that. The list goes on. You know, food. Have you been to I mean, I know you've been to the grocery store. It's not coming down. It's still going up. It's still going up. What are we doing to prepare for that? We still have no Speaker of the House, right? I think they failed a third time. 3 times and you're out. They should be all out. Fire them. Fire them. Start over. We the people. You serve us. You serve us. Do your dang job. Do your dang job. All right, get fired up. What are we doing to prepare, to continue to prepare? Your pantry, your water, your spiritual, church, church. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I may go more into depth into this in another video, but Mrs. Dawg and I have struggled lately. I mean, we do attend a church here, very local. It's very close to our home, so that's a requirement. I think it needs to be close to your home, and they are biblically based, biblical authority. Very traditional. So but it's a pretty large place, so it's kind of easy to get lost in the shuffle in there, if you can't plug into play things. And we're trying to plug into some things, and it's not easy at all. Both of us, we're not exactly high type A personalities, so we're a bit reserved, and out in public and socially, believe it or not. So we struggle with that. Let me know your thoughts on that. But I think we've decided that not going anywhere is not an option. We need to go somewhere, especially during this time. You can make a good argument that we're seeing the Bible play out right now. So I think it's more important than ever to stay connected to some kind of faith group, even if it's a small group, local, your home church right there where you live, or in your neighborhood or close by, somebody that you can confide in and support each other. I think that's super huge right now. All right, I'm going to go to the verse because I don't want to make this video too terribly long. All right, here we go. Deuteronomy. Well, before I read it, you know, and I do this too. We talk a lot of channels and all. We talk about what's the boogeyman today? It's a virus. It's a terrorist. It's the crime. It's the zombie. This uh, who whatever. Fill in the blank. So Deuteronomy chapter 31 verse 6 says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord, capital L, your God, goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them." Because of them. That's pretty to the point, y'all. We should not be afraid. Be prepared. But I know we're human, but let's keep that in mind and allow that to encourage you. Share your thoughts. Let's be safe out there. God bless you. I'll see you soon.